Hey everyone, it's Desiree here with Worship Wednesday. This week we are talking about how to chillax. Want to know? Tune in right after this. And we're back. Thank you so much for tuning in this week. I appreciate it. Recently, my husband was talking about why don't they ever talk about sleep at church? They always talk about how to get joy, how to forgive, how to do all these things. Why don't they ever talk about sleep? Because as parents, we're always tired. So I thought, hey, I'll do it. I got this. So this week, we're talking about how to chillax, aka how to sleep. In researching the Bible, I came across several scriptures about rest. The first thing is that God and Jesus both required rest themselves. In Genesis 2, it says, "Heaven and earth were finished, down to the last detail. By the seventh day, God had finished his work. On the seventh day, he rested from all his work. God blessed the seventh day." Then later, when Jesus is on earth, in Mark 4, it says, "A huge storm came up, waves poured into the boat, threatening to sink it. Jesus was in the stern, head on a pillow, sleeping." So what does that tell you? You are human and you can't do everything. If God requires rest, how much more do you require it? The second thing is that God gives rest. Isaiah 40, 30, and 31. God energizes those who get tired, gives fresh strength to dropouts. For even young people tire and drop out. Young folk in their prime stumble and fall. But those who wait upon God get fresh strength. They spread their wings and soar like eagles. They run and don't get tired. They walk and don't lag behind. In Matthew 11, 28 and 30, it says, "Are you tired, worn out, burned out on religion? Come to me, get away with me, and you'll recover your life. I'll show you how to take a real rest. Walk with me and work with me. Watch how I do it. Learn the unforced rhythms of grace. I won't lay anything heavy or ill-fitting on you. Keep company with me, and you'll learn to live freely and lightly." And the last thing is that God demands rest. Exodus 28 and through 11. "Observe the Sabbath day to keep it holy. Work 6 days and do everything you need to do. But on the seventh day, it's Sabbath to God, your God. Don't do any work. Not you, nor your son, nor your daughter, nor your servant, nor your maid, nor your animals, not even the foreign guests visiting in your town. For in 6 days God made heaven, earth, and sea, and everything in them. He rested on the seventh day. Therefore God blessed the Sabbath. He set it apart as a holy day." Do you ever think about why we criticize others for taking scripture out of context, yet we ourselves pick and choose which of the 10 commandments to follow? It kind of sounds silly because it's so easy, we're not going to steal, we're not going to murder. Sometimes it's hard not to bear false witness. I know lying is something we struggle with, but we often forget about this last commandment that talks about keeping the Sabbath day to keep it holy. And maybe that's a reminder from God that we need the rest in our lives. So this week, commit during this busy season of our lives, especially celebrating the holiday, to rest and spend that time with God. Thank you so much for tuning in to Worship Wednesday. Tune in tomorrow to watch Thankful Thursdays with Jonathan. Come back next week to watch another episode of Worship Wednesday. Like, comment, subscribe, all of the above. You know what we want you to do. Thank you, and I hope to catch you next week.